Okay, one thing that I thought was interesting. With the Clinton Anderson series, the fundamental series, I think it's really good. If you're just starting out, even as an intermediate. Their older series is still really good. He's really pushing his new intermediate series with new stuff. I'm really curious about it, but I'm already having a hard time remembering all the basics. So, a couple of things I want to call out. With his particular rope, what he's selling here is that the rope itself is really hard. There's a lot of rope halters out there, but they're really flimsy. So your horse is going to go up. Of course it's going to push on it. It's all soft and flimsy, right? And it only has maybe like 1 or 2 knots in it. He's pushing his rope because it has more knots in it to cause more pressure on the top sides, right, when you're lunging, going back. And it's a firmer rope, so the horse is less likely to push against it. When you tie it, this also, I used to do it wrong until I just saw his video last night. Push our head away here. When you tie it, you go down and around, and see the loops down below. I used to have it on top, but you're supposed to have it down below the loop, and it's supposed to be going down and around and pointing that way. That way it doesn't loosen up. For her, one time when I had it done the wrong way, where I had the loop on the top and tied, she was scratching her head, and she was tied up on the side of the trailer somewhere. I don't know where I was. I was somewhere down at a friend's barn, and it came undone, and off she goes running down the field, chewing on grass, having a great time. I mean, I went and got her, but I was totally shocked that she was able to get out of it. So remember that. Another thing with her, I've been letting her get away with this habit because I'm lazy myself. Can't do that. So one thing, the horse's face should always kind of be tilted in and down. She knows this, so don't let her get away with it. So what I do is that here, right? It's, again, all about respect. And for her, see, I just tied it up on the top. I'm doing that because it's going to be loose. So when you don't want it to loosen up, you tie the knot on the bottom. This one I'm tying on the top. All right, so I thought that was really interesting, and I thought I'd call that out. Also, see, she's ready. She's tilting her head in. I carefully put the bit so that it doesn't hit her teeth. Oh, I have it backwards. You're trying this good. You're such a good girl. You're trying again. He says to do it this way with your hand over the pole, your left hand, like that. I never knew that. Just found that out this week. So, that way, her head should always stay down because there's pressure on the pole, and the left hand helps the teeth. Kind of wanted to show you that. All right, now we're going to head over to the mounting block, and this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to tell you here because you might not be able to hear me when I'm walking around out there. So, I'm going to loosen her up again, go bending her neck on each side a number of times on the ground, and then when I'm up there I'm going to do it again, just because she's so tight on her right side. When I'm in the saddle, I'm going to be pulling up to her ear on this rein until she drops her head down as we're walking. Because every time we go off the mounting block, she's like, she's all amped, and she can't. If you bring her head down, the saliva helps them relax. When they're in relaxed mode and sleepy mode, their head's down. When they're eating, their head's down. When they're sleeping, their head's down. So we're going to do that and work on keeping her head down when she's walking. That's the first step. All right, I'll see you at the mounting block.